Welcome back. Always great to have you here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wow, what a great movie. I was so caught up in this story, and I wanted to know where did this all come from?
I'm not sure. I think part of it must come from Kristin, in a sense that you don't write a movie when you don't have a notion of who ideally could be it. When I was writing, I didn't know if Kristin would do it, would want to do it, or would be interested with that kind of material. But I'm sure that, consciously or not consciously, I was writing someone who was pretty much like her. But the core of the story, it's. I wanted to make a film that dealt with how materialistic our societies have become, and how there's some kind of hope or salvation in our inner world, in our relationship with art, or with the things invisible that we carry with us, that are part of us. So it was really about someone who tried to. So it turned into this fable of a woman who is a psychic and who is trying to connect with some other world, some abstract other world. But I think we can relate to it in a much simpler basis. It's all about relating with ourselves, our inner selves.
Exactly, and it's also too about how people also deal with grief in different ways. And how she deals with grief, and how she internalizes her twin brother being dead, and it's very interesting. Especially to cling to somebody who's passed away that you're so close to. You can't be any closer than your twin. And I love the notion of the ghost, of the soul being alive. And is that something that you strongly believe in?
I don't believe that it actually materializes, but I think it's there. I think it's there. I mean, but obviously it's not literal. But I think we certainly do live with the presences of the departed. Of people we have loved and known, and they are around us. They live through us in a certain way. So if you push it one step, it becomes a ghost story. But of course, I think the core of it is as you said, it's mourning, it's grief, and it's and somehow how we also overcome grief and mourning.
Exactly. Listen, you've worked with Kristin before. She's so grown since the Twilight stuff. Like, oh my God, I've been interviewing her since she was like Panic Room. My God, I know I only look 20, but come on, really. But she is just. It's amazing to see how she's grown, and what kind of surprised, even from the last film to this one, was there something that surprised you better?
What surprised? Well, I've always loved Kristin. I've always been a fan, and we met a couple of times. I just liked her very much. But I think I really discovered her when we were making Clouds of Sils Maria. I thought she would be good, but when we were shooting, I realized that she was unique. She was like one of a kind, and the character in Clouds is not one-dimensional, but it's she has a limited range, to put it that way, and I think it just what got me going is the sense that she could go very far. She could go anywhere. I mean, there's like no stopping her.
That's for sure. Yeah. Was she proficient in riding a scooter? Because I think that's the thing that scared me the most. Getting on a scooter, riding the streets of Paris.
She's a hero. I mean, she's like really courageous. It's like she flew in like the previous day. She had never sat on a scooter ever in her life, and she had like an hour lesson with some guy, and bam, she was in the Paris traffic.
Amazing!
Yes.
I know that's the thing that scares me so much. And again too, like it is so interesting to watch, like you say, like the superficial, like with the fashion world, and she's picking up these dresses that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars in the jewelry, and she doesn't even flinch, and that's so Kristin, because she wears things beautifully, and she looks amazing when she models and things like that, but she's just such a a simple person.
Yes, exactly. No, but I think that's what I love about her. That's what I love about her, because she's a movie star, but there's no distance. There's no, she's right there. She's with you. She's this really easygoing, simple, straightforward person. I think that's her. And I suppose that's why she inspires me. Characters who are like very down to earth, who are involved in everyday life, who do tough jobs. And, she's like that.
Yeah, exactly. Are you going to continue writing for her? She's kind of your muse now.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to work with her again, anytime.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Now, of course, your lovely wife also has a festival film here at the same time. Is this a first that the two of you have something at the same time?
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it kind of happened that we were in Cannes together, but in different selections.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of the first time when we were synchronized on the same circuit, which is not too great because we have a daughter, and so it's kind of a
who's going to babysit? I mean, you got to think of your priorities
exactly.
But it's got to be nice to be in Toronto together for us.
Oh yes,
I would think,
of course. Same thing in New York. Same thing, it's cool. I mean, we have the same distributor. It's strange. It's becoming strange.
What more can you ask for? Come on, seriously. So what are you thinking up next? What are we going to have from you?
What I'm thinking of now is I wrote a movie for Roman Polanski this summer, and which is shooting like in a month, and I have a film which could happen here in Toronto, that would be this winter, and I cross my fingers because we're talking about an international, like mostly American film, and they are just you never know if those things happen or don't happen. It's not. I mean, in Europe or in France, I have like control on what I'm doing. Here, it's just a little bit more complicated.
Well, I'm sure it'll come to fruition. Don't worry, you're such a great filmmaker. Thank you for this. It's really wonderful, and always a pleasure to talk to you.